AI is here, so marketers are no longer necessary because AI can write your ads, write your emails, build your funnels, etc. So marketers can just pack it up, get out of here. You're no longer necessary. Or is that truly the case? Well, I've pulled up 3 Facebook ads here from contractors, clearly written by AI. And we're going to see if AI is actually as good as they say. Spoiler alert, it's not. And so if you are running ads right now and you are using AI in your marketing, in your ads, or perhaps your agency is doing it, this video will be crucial to you. So I'm just going to dive right into these ads. And honestly, it didn't take long to find these 3 ads. It took like 3 minutes because it's everywhere now. And it's also not to say that AI isn't good or that you should not use it. I personally use AI every single day for most of my marketing stuff. However, you're going to see what happens if you only rely on AI instead of skills. And I'm talking about marketing skills, marketing knowledge. So now let's actually just dive into ad number 1 here. And I'm going to read them and then go through them. So transform your outdoors. From stunning patios to luxury outdoor kitchens, company name creates custom spaces that elevate your home's value and lifestyle. Looking for extra room? Our seamless room additions provide the space you need while blending perfectly with your home's design. Let us help you create the perfect outdoor living space today. Call now to book your free consultation. Okay, so how do I know that this is clearly written by AI? Well, it follows pretty much the exact same structure that AI always uses. It's some type of headline here, which it's not really a headline because it's in the actual body text, but you can see these 2 emojis and the fact that every single word starts with a capital letter, which ChatGPT does all the time. And you can see the same thing, for example, in ad 3, these 2 emojis, and create your ideal backyard with a capital letter character here at the beginning of each word. And the thing about transform your outdoors here, making this claim, is that it is super vague and super weak. And it makes the ad also just immediately feel like a pitch, sort of like an infomercial, right? And the thing is that people don't like to be sold to. They hate sales messages that sound salesy, right? And so when you immediately go into something that just sounds like a pitch, and also on top of that, it's just super vague, what does transform your outdoors actually mean? Well, then you're not going to capture any attention. And when we go into the next line here, I also wrote here that it's immediate infomercial pitch, which is basically what it feels like. From stunning patios to luxury outdoor kitchens, we create custom spaces that elevate your home's value and lifestyle. So the ad just immediately goes into who the company is and what they do, but the reader does not care at all. They don't care about what you do, who you are, etc. They only care about themselves, and you haven't actually earned their attention yet to make an offer. You haven't actually showed or demonstrated that you understand them and you understand where they are. So if you didn't lose attention here, you'll definitely lose it here. And this claim also, elevate your home's value and lifestyle, it's also a very vague outcome. Elevate your home's value? Well, in what way? How much? And do I actually care about that primarily? That's a question to ask. And when it comes to lifestyle, it's also just something that is very broad. And I don't really know what you mean by lifestyle. Again, it's something that has to be way more clearly defined, and you need to get way more specific so that the ideal client that you want to attract can clearly see that when you're talking about lifestyle, it's a very specific lifestyle that resonates with them personally, them specifically. Otherwise, the word, the claim just is so broad, or becomes so broad, that it has zero impact at all. It's, for example, the same as me saying, hey, do you want to scale your business? Work with us to scale your business. It's like, well, I mean, what's the actual outcome? Like, what do you mean scale your business? Like, are you going to add a certain amount of revenue? What are you going to do, right? It's the same thing here, right? And then looking for extra room. This is breaking the rule of one. And what is the rule of one? If you're not familiar with it, it's basically that when you're writing a sales message, whether it's an ad, a sales page, an email, a landing page, whatever, you want to always, in every single sales message, focus on writing to one person about one problem and one desire, one solution. Okay? And the reason is because if you go beyond writing about one thing, then your message gets diluted and people also get confused. And so this is a place where you would also lose the attention, because first we talked about creating custom spaces that elevate your home's value and lifestyle, but then we're talking about looking for extra room. It's like, well, I don't really know what this is about anymore. And seamless room additions provide the space you need. Need for what? Again, it's just this very vague claims and vague benefits, right? Which is very common with AI, because AI doesn't have the context about our audience that we usually have. Unless you can, again, program it. But programming AI and prompting it properly, again, requires actual marketing knowledge. And this is what I meant in the beginning by using AI and letting it do really all the work for you without having any skills or knowledge about marketing yourself. And let us help you create the perfect outdoor living space today. Again, what is perfect? Like, this means nothing, right? This means nothing. And call now to book your free consultation. Well, call who? And how do I call? Like, consultation for what exactly? And again, AI does this very often with their call to actions. It's very unclear on what I should do next once I've consumed this. It's call now, but this is literally where the ad ends. There's nothing more after this, right? There's no number to call. I don't know what the consultation is going to be about. It's just very unclear, right? And if something is unclear, if people get confused, then they will not take action. A confused prospect does not move, does not take action, and does not buy. So that's ad number one. Ad number two, and honestly, this is probably the least AI out of the ads. Let us transform your backyard. We offer a variety of hardscape services, from patios to fire pits to outdoor kitchens. Get your free estimate today. A very short ad, and this is also very common with outdoor living contractors, is that they run these sort of 2 to 4 sentences ads. But the thing is that when you are advertising, especially on Facebook or Instagram, and you're advertising to cold traffic, which will be the case if you are advertising on those platforms, people have like no idea who you are. They don't know what you do. And so if you don't have an actual sales message that is enough for people to understand that you can help them, that you understand them, and that you have what they want, then they won't take action. And also, when you run short ads, you will also get very low intent leads. Because let's say you have a 200-word ad, someone consumes it, that means that they actually put some effort in, and it means that they actually resonate with the ad. And so when they then click through, they click through with higher intent compared to reading 2 sentences, being a little bit curious, and then inquiring. So writing longer ads is not only to actually increase conversion rate, because of what I said first about letting people know that you're talking to them, you understand them, and you ultimately have what they want. That increases conversions, but also it's about generating the high intent people. Now, let's get more specific here. Let us transform your backyard. Again, it's just this immediate pitch, super salesy, nothing that's in it for me. And we offer a variety of hardscape services, from patios to fire pits to outdoor kitchens. Get your free estimate today. And so it immediately goes into we do this. We are this type of company. The reader does not care. What's in it for me here? Right? I don't care about you. And then this claim is obviously pretty generic. There's no clear value proposition here. It's just mentioning all the services that the company provides. However, again, it's like with the first ad here, you can see that they're both similar in that aspect. It's just listing all the services that we do. But there's no clear value proposition, and there's nothing that tells me why you would be better than the others, right? And most people do this. They just list their services, right? But if someone offers the same service and there's no clear value proposition, then why should they go with you? Well, they will go with you if you are cheaper. And that's why people also attract these price shoppers, because they don't know, or you don't have a clear value proposition. And get your free estimate today. Well, get my free estimate where? How? What do I do now? Right? And again, the ad just ends here. There's nothing more here. There's no link. There's no place, no clear way for me to take action. And what is the estimate for exactly? Again, AI is just this very vague, unclear stuff a lot of the times. Okay? Now ad number 3 here, which was pretty similar to ad 1 in terms of the opening. So create your ideal backyard. Again, generic claim like with the first one, and clearly AI written due to these emojis and capital letters here. So create your ideal backyard. What is ideal backyard? What does that mean exactly? What does that look like for the ideal client? Well, it looks like this and that. Well, then say that instead. You see what I'm saying here? When you say ideal backyard, it doesn't tell the reader anything. Compared to, for example, if you can get really specific on what it is that they are actually looking for. Because people are not laying awake at night or talking with their spouse about creating their ideal backyard. That's not what is going through their head. They're getting way more specific about, we want to, for example, have a better seating area because of this. We want to be able to eat outside or have our kids play around, or you can even get deeper than that, right? But no one is thinking ideal backyard. And get your fee estimate and see before you buy with our 3D renderings. So free estimate for what? It's just the same unclear stuff in all of these ads. And see before you buy. See what exactly? Now you may say, obviously see like the design or something, but it's not actually explicitly said here. And you might say, well, it's sort of implied. It's not really, because people aren't as smart or can't make sense of things in like an instant the way perhaps you can do as a contractor when you're talking about contracting stuff. And so when you say see before you buy, it makes me think. Like maybe after a second or two, I can understand, oh, he's talking about, the design, or that I get to see my backyard before I build it, but it's not clear right away. And the moment you make people think, you lose them. Thinking creates friction. Okay, there's nothing that people hate more than thinking. I don't remember who said that, but it was on Genius. Now, moving on. Whether it's a refreshing swimming pool or cozy outdoor fireplace, stunning pergola, or a fully equipped outdoor kitchen, company name has you covered. And again, the same as all of these other ads, there's no clear value proposition. It's just, here's what we can do. Here's our services, right? But imagine someone comes into like your DMs or sends you a cold email and they say, hey, we offer Facebook ads and we offer Facebook ads management and we offer XYZ, and you're like, well, there's like 10,000 people that do that. There's no actual value proposition here, right? And it's the same when you're advertising to homeowners, right? So hope that makes sense. And over 20 years transforming backyards. I didn't notice that until now. Local family business owned, get your quick and easy no obligation quote, just one click away. Local family owned business. This doesn't add anything to the ad. It's just there. People don't really care about this. Again, people only care about themselves unless you can tie something like this into an actual benefit or why it would be good to the homeowner that you're talking to. It doesn't have any impact and should not be in the ad. Okay? And get your quick and easy no obligation quotes. So at first, I thought it was a free estimate and a 3D rendering. Now it's a no obligation quote. Which one is it? Breaks the rule of one, right? Now we're talking about multiple things here. Is it free estimate and 3D rendering, or is it no obligation quote? And again, you might think that I'm, being picky here, but people will get confused. And just a click away, well, where do I click? Where do I click? Where do I get this no obligation quote? The ad does not tell me. And so I probably won't do anything because you haven't given me any clear next steps on what I should do to move forward. It would be very different if you just dropped the link and said, if you want to get your quote or your free estimate, click this link below, and you put the link there and you say, hey, you'll get to a page and you'll fill out some of your information, and then after that we'll contact you. Now people know exactly what to do and what to expect, right? Very clear, very hard to get wrong. And just, overall with this ad, it's just a big pitch. It basically just goes into the sort of offer or what the company does right away. It doesn't feel conversational or human, right? Imagine that when you are writing ads, or just imagine that your ads and your marketing material is basically a salesperson in print, right? And so if you wouldn't talk like this, if you wouldn't actually say these things when you're talking one-on-one with someone or like to an actual crowd in person, do not say it. Now, let's actually get into an ad that I wrote that is meant to actually be conversational, that's meant to have a clear value proposition, and it's clear. It's clear, okay? Now, mind you, I wrote this ad in literally like 60 seconds, okay? I wrote this ad so fast, and I just came up with it on the spot, okay? So it might be a little bit ridiculous, but it's just to prove a point. So if you go down the mall, you'll probably see around 9 kangaroos, but not just any kangaroos, freaking saber-toothed kangaroos. That's right. And you might think that's BS, but the truth is, saber-toothed kangaroos have been around for centuries. In fact, you can even tame them. All you need is a bottle of whiskey, a couple of carrots, and some upper body strength, because you might have to fight them, which is not a challenge that anyone could take on. But right now, we're giving away $500 to anyone who can successfully tame one of these saber-toothed kangaroos. So if you're brave enough to take on this challenge, then apply for a spot to compete by clicking the link below. Okay, as you can see, it's probably pretty ridiculous, right? But if we go to the first sentence here, the hook, there's a lot of curiosity here, especially if this would be like a local ad. If you go down to the mall, I might even specify what mall it is, right? Because if people are local and they're like, I know that mall, right? You'll see 9 kangaroos. It's like, what the F? 9 kangaroos? But not just any kangaroos, freaking saber-toothed kangaroos. This is to build intrigue, to pull people into the ad so they keep consuming, right? It's just a lot of curiosity. And you might think that's BS because obviously if they hear saber-toothed kangaroos, some objections start to pop up, right? But the truth is that saber-toothed kangaroos have been around for centuries. Now you'll probably have to back this up a little bit more, but for the sake of me just showing the example, I'm going to just leave it as is. In fact, you can even tame them. All you need is a bottle of whiskey, a couple of carrots, and some upper body strength because you might have to fight them. This is sort of, now we're getting into what the pitch is, right? You can even tame them. This is sort of to warm them up to the pitch, right? Make a bridge to the pitch so that it comes naturally and doesn't feel like this abrupt, sales pitch. You only need these things. You're making it sort of sound a little bit simple. All you need is these 3 things and you can like tame a kangaroo, right? It sounds simple, and which is not a challenge that anyone could take on. People sort of have this ego that they can take on, anything. So when people hear that, hey, you probably can't do this, they're like, yes, I can. Like, yes, I can do that, right? So it's sort of a little bit of reverse psychology. But right now, we're giving away $500 to anyone who can successfully tame one of these saber-toothed kangaroos. Very clear value proposition, right? Easily understandable. And I would probably even add to this, like, hey, if you can even tame one of these kangaroos, you get to bring them home as a pet, right? Strengthens the offer a little bit, if you know what I mean. So if you're brave enough to take on this challenge, then apply for a spot to compete by clicking the link below. Very clear call to action, right? If you want to tame a kangaroo, apply by clicking this link right below, right? There's no guesswork, there's no confusion here. It's very clear on what I want the reader to do next. But if you can also notice in the ad, it's very conversational and it has a very smooth flow. It's very easy to read and it actually sounds like a human, as if a human was talking to you in real life, right? And so it makes it very easy to consume compared to, hey, create your ideal backyard, get your free estimate and see before you buy with our 3D renderings, right? Now, if you just want me to handle your ads for you and implement what I've said in this video, then you can book a call with me by clicking the Calendly link in the description of this video, and we can see if our system and the way we build ads can book you 8 to 12 qualified consultations directly on your calendar in just 90 days on a pay on results basis. So if I don't book you any consultations, then you simply don't pay. And all you have to do is actually just show up to the consultation and close the job. We handle everything else. So book that call by clicking the link in the description if you want to explore that offer. But on that note, goodbye.